So, um, today I'm gonna touch on monogamy and the myths around monogamy and why. Well, disclaimer: this is how I feel about it. I I have no intention to claim any work to say it's mine. This is something that I've read about. This is something that I've realized at the same time. So basically, this is my perspective about relationships and monogamous setting. So let me just start by saying that what's monogamy? Monogamy it's a practice or custom of having a sexual relationship with one person. So I'm gonna touch on romantic relationships. As I've said, that it's a practice or custom of having a sexual relationship with one person. It does not necessarily mean that you have to be married to be monogamous. You understand? So yeah. So why monogamous? Why is monogamous such a norm that okay, it is a norm because I feel like we as a society, and I mean like all over the world, monogamous is still a thing, you understand, particular time. So is that thing that yeah. So the thing is, what I quarrel with, or what I feel like sometimes I'm very uncomfortable with, is this idea that monogamy it's assumed, you know, everyone assume that you are monogamous, you know. I don't excuse the whole idea that there are people who practice monogamous and that they find it very necessary, and there are some people as well who practice things like open relationship, which is a thing, it's happening, it's out there, you know. And sometimes I just feel like sometimes people put on a fallacy or rather a facade that they're monogamous, but deep inside they know that they're not even monogamous. That so I feel like today most of relationships, the reason they are breaking down, okay, again, this is how I feel, the reason they are breaking down, first thing first, is communication. We don't communicate. We assume a lot of things. We assume that we're monogamous. Hence, I'm talking about monogamous. We assume that, no, my person, we're going to be mutual exclusive with my person. And of which it's a wrong thing if you think about it, because you don't get to assume. You never, never, never assume that you're on the same page with the next someone, you know. I feel like that's the unfortunate part about us. We need to communicate, you know. We need to talk about how we do things. Well, normally, I feel like communication goes a long way. It's not even necessary about monogamous on its own only. Communication can even be, I don't know, about things like anything that you guys can encounter on the relationship, and it doesn't necessarily have to be where you guys hit rock bottom. No, like you just talk and say, okay, fine, I feel like we should do things this way. Like communication, man, is just like everything. It is the gist or the gem of the relationship. So communication first, it's very important so that we communicate on whether am I monogamous, on whether I practice monogamy. And again, when we communicate, we reach to a point or a conclusion where we say, okay, fine, we are monogamous, we are in a mutual exclusive relationship, therefore I expect us to do things this way, you understand? Then we move forward. Okay, fine. Now I want to touch on the myths of monogamy, you know. I feel like our society, or the world rather, is built on a monogamous setting. Like everybody it's monogamous, you know, everybody it's monogamous. And then, again, I repeat, it's assumed. So since there's this thing that, okay, fine, everybody it's monogamous, and when you are monogamous, you are ethical, you are moral, you know, all those things that you get to hear people saying. And then again, I don't want to take anything from anybody. If you practice monogamy, it's a good thing. And so trust, I want to touch on trust, loyalty, promiscuous sexual health. These things are the things that you hear people talking about. And now you ask yourself, if monogamous, it is the way going forward. If monogamous, it's a way of doing things. But then why are we having trust issues? Why people are not being loyal? Why are people being promiscuous? Maybe open relationship is a way for us to live in a happy, loving world. Well, that's how I think. Not that I would practice open relationship. I'm just thinking that we should be open-minded in these talks, you understand? Because it's erratic. I feel like the monogamous is just up here, and then these other options, they're just below monogamous, and that's disservice, because it is this thing that, okay, fine. Now, because you hear people saying that, being in a relationship is a lot of work. Because of all these standards and these norms that we put on people, we have literally normalized monogamy. We have literally just understood that monogamy, it is the way forward. Monogamy, it is the thing. And then you hear lines like, we've always been doing things this way, we've always been monogamous. And yeah, I would like to say I disagree, but I would disagree to agree. But then again, now we look back, how many people can you point at who have had heartbreaks? How many people can you point at who have been so hurt, who are tarnished, who felt bereft after these monogamous relationships? How many people can you show me that felt like I'm no longer dating anymore because of these monogamous relationships? How many people are lying somewhere out there, dying because of these monogamous relationships? And are you still saying that monogamy is the way going forward? Being in an open relationship does not necessarily mean that you are not loyal, you're not faithful. I feel like, again, for the fact that you did raise the issue that I have an issue in this relationship, it could be sexual, it could be anything, it could be financial, you understand? Then how about we get a third party? How about we get a fourth party? That on its own, it's a level of honesty. That on its own, it's a touch of maturity, because you're at the point where you are able to communicate things that you feel uncomfortable with. And then when you're doing that, you reach out to the next party, and then again, insecurities and then doubts, you say, my person will think maybe, no, I don't love him or her, all those things. And it's okay to feel like that. It's okay. But then again, what's more for you to be dishonest, for you to lie, for you to be promiscuous while the other person doesn't know? I feel like these are the things we should really talk about, because again, to just wrap up things about this whole idea of monogamy, I would say that first and foremost, you don't assume that you're in a monogamous relationship with anybody. You communicate. You don't assume that you are in a mutual exclusive with anybody. You communicate. You voice out your opinions. You voice out how you feel. You voice out how you do things. You understand? You say, this is how I do things. This is how I've been doing things. And the other party comes forward, and both minds, they meet, and then you reach a conclusion. You compromise if necessary. You understand? And we move. If the other party doesn't practice monogamy, then you have to excuse yourself. Because I feel like we always have these signs when we're in relationships, always getting signs. But then you're like, no, it's love, it's love. So those are the things that I wanted to talk about this video. And that being in an open relationship does not necessarily mean that you are not trustworthy, does not necessarily mean that you're not loyal. Okay, so this was my touch on the myths of monogamy and the conversation around it, you understand? I just hope that it does at some point open some people's eyes out there, on how things are done, on how communication goes a long way. So yeah, keep well. Thank you.